So like the conversations that you were having at the end of the workday when you were living apart, like you generally, it's easy for you to come up with something to talk about because you probably haven't seen that person all day. But then when you living together, you, especially now these days when she and I both work from home, I see this girl every day. Like it's rarely an hour or two that goes by where I don't see or have some sort of interaction with her, and come to end of
that's crazy, babe. That's really crazy just to think about the fact that there's rarely an hour, and that's all the time.
Mm-hmm. And even in the time that we are not personally interacting, in the back of my mind, I know she's there. You know, Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Buffet Podcast, episode 80.
80.
Oh, shit. Episode 80. Damn. It's your boy, Brandon, and I am joined by my beautiful partner and co-host.
Hey, y'all. It's Yandra.
Another episode of the Buffet Podcast, where we continue to give you that endless food for thought.
Yeah. Where's that? Burr, 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 burr. That's my favorite one. I need to know what it is so I can press it when I feel so inclined. The green one. I got it. I'm still going to do it. Burr, 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 burr. All right. We're going to get started with this.
We jumping straight into it? All right. Straight into the Moose Boosh. You know what I'm saying? We know how we do by now. If not, you'll learn. Let's get it.
Cook, I clean, I fuck, I shut up.
I cook, I clean, I fuck, I zoom. I zoom.
Cook, I clean.
It's funny how she put so much emphasis on the fuck. She was like, I cook, I fuck, and I can't do that. Last one was
Yeah. So if you haven't seen or heard that clip, it's a clip from, I think it might be Young Miami's Live or something, someplace where she said that. I love all the sounds that go viral with her because they're funny. She just says things that are amusing.
Miami.
To me. Mm-hmm. And my immediate reaction to that, or I think for some additional context, people are like, why her? Why do people like her? Why did he like her? Mm-hmm. What's special about her?
Oh, and then she's
like, these are the reasons why. Like, I am that girl. Like, I'm providing him with the things that he wants, with the things that typically we think that men want in a relationship. Would you agree?
Yes. Like if low key, I would say at least, I don't know. I hate to put a number out, but I say most of the time. I say at least 60% of the time. If it like we would like that, we like cook, clean, fuck, and be quiet, like on demand, without no pushback.
Well, that's the other part of. That's the part of it that I feel like is left open to interpretation. Like maybe I do all of these things, but she need to give a percentage of time at which she does all these
Ideally,
things.
Ideally,
it'd be 100%. The frequency.
Ideally, it'd be 100%. Men saying we want a woman to cook, clean, fuck, other things, and shut the fuck up, so fuck suck and shut up. That's man's version of I want a man who pay for everything, who's the most top flight baller, like charismatic person, who also don't cheat, who's 6 foot, who get all the women but don't mess with none of the women. Mm-hmm. Know what I'm saying? Who will shoot a motherfucker, but he gentle with me. Like for that for women is our. For the cook clean, fuck like a monster, and shut the fuck up. That's our.
Yeah, that's the ideal. Yeah, but it's something that you recognize is not maybe 100% attainable. It's something that you would like, you would prefer. It's like if they had all of this, it'd be great. But even if they have some of it or they have each of it, but like not all of it's at 100% of what I would like.
We're trying to get somebody who is closest to that ideal that we can get. Mm-hmm. So like while I feel like most men don't want somebody who don't shut the fuck up. But you know what I'm saying? So if it's at this point it's impossible to get a woman who won't who will shut the fuck up 100%. So it's the negotiation on like how much of the shutting up part does she come with.
Mm-hmm. So if it was 50% across the board,
depends on what it is.
No. If in each category, I cook 50% of the time,
Mm-hmm.
I clean 50% of the time, I have sex 50% of the time, and I shut up 50%
Well, I would hope you're having
of the
sex at least 100% of the time, because like, so you sound like, because the sex 50% of the time implies that like, are you fucking back 50% of the time, and then the other 50% of the time you're just like a pillow princess?
No, just 50% of the time. A demand, like
okay,
50% meeting the demand, or is that too low of a percentage?
I mean, at that point, that'll just be dependent on the guy, but I think 50% is a good. It's a good starting point. You know what I mean? Like, I think you will still get played. Some you'll get taken for that. Like, people will sign up for that. I feel like a lot of guys will sign up for 50% of all of those things all the time. Those are pretty good odds.
Okay.
For a guy, the average guy.
Mm-hmm. If the other 50% of that is an expectation that you will do it. If I cook 50% and you have to cook the other 50%, I clean 50%, you have to clean the other 50%. Is that still a good deal?
Sure. I mean, but how would it work for the sex part? So it's like, if you're not
that part, that's why I didn't include that.
Okay.
Not including that.
Yeah. So like the other 50%. So we kind of like trading, going back and forth. This week is yours. Next week is mine. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Sure, I mean, I feel like that's doable, assuming like the personality and the other aspects of it is fire too. Like, that makes. I mean, I don't think that would be too much of an issue. I think most men will be happy for that, and so me personally, I'm thinking if I was in that scenario and you want to cook and clean 50%, then it's like, okay, now it's your turn. I'm finessing a way out of it. So like, not by out of it, I mean like, so I don't have to do it. So that means for my person, I got the maid coming in on my week. I got meal prep. I might cook. I'll throw down every once in a while, but yeah. But as long as it's done, it'll be my responsibility to get it done. There we go.
Okay. I don't how you get it done is not okay.
That's it. I learned that very early on. Growing up with the household, the chores I was responsible for as a teenager, cutting the grass in the Florida heat. As soon as I started making, I was like, yeah, I got somebody coming in. I'm subcontracting this out. I'm not doing this no more. I'm not. Nah, it's not happening.
You work smarter than harder, babe.
I learned I know how to cut grass. That's all. I learned the lesson that you were trying to teach me. I hope that you were trying to teach me a lesson and not just needed some free labor. But yeah,
a little bit of both.
Yeah, I
needed free labor. I had you were the labor, and you also needed this. I felt like it was a life skill for you.
There you go.
Because I definitely don't know how.
I learned delegation as soon as I could. Came naturally to me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem, and personally, I don't. But I know different guys got different, requirements for theirs. But at the end of the day, like the closest, so like if I'm dating, if I'm in the dating stage and I'm dating, a few different, women, and they, all things being equal, like personality wise, looks wise, and things like that. But one is giving me 50 across the board. Another one is giving me 50 across the board. But on one part, she's giving me 75, 80. Or then another one is giving me, 70 across the board. So there's different calculations that go into. I will say the higher the number across most things, the higher your chances of being chosen.
Okay. But I think that's true. I mean, you said it, so yes, it's true for you. But I think that there definitely is a weight system if one thing is more important to you than the other.
Yes.
Like if you didn't want to cook at all and it was really important for you to find a partner who cooks, then a 100% of cooking might be the thing that really helps that person be the front runner.
Yeah, because if I hate cooking and I'm trying to not have to do it, 50-50 is not going to work because I'm not trying to do it. So it could be 50 across everything, and then but one of your 50s is something I hate doing, just cook. In this case, it says cooking, and then there's another woman who's they say just as good, so to speak, and she's 50 across everything too, but she's willing to make cooking the 100%, and then I'll take 100% on something else, or she's just willing to take the cooking because she enjoys cooking, and that's how she's
a winner. She's a winner, baby.
Odds are in general.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ready to transition into our topic for the day?
Well, no, I want to ask: is the same true for women?
What?
For men, like the 50-50.
I want to hear it in the man.
So like, I feel like I already know the answer to this question, but the 50-50 across the board on everything, a man come with that expectation of you. That's not going to fly, right? That's not a good look.
You're saying a man expects me to do 50% of the cooking?
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'll do 50. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to do 50%. All the things that you want out of a man, I do 50% of it, and then I expect you to handle the rest. Like the same question you asked me, return back to you. Or does it look different?
It looks different because I think there's different categories.
Oh yeah, because we got cooking, cleaning, fucking for man. So what's the categories for the woman?
What's the category? Finances, like how much you can provide to the household. Protection, how much safety and security you are able to offer. And like support and understanding, like the ability to be able to listen to me. You don't need to shut up, you need to listen. I protect, I provide, and I listen. Oh, and you need to fuck too.
In general.
Yeah.
So everything.
So protect, provide, listen, and fuck. And if you were doing 50% of each, I don't know if that would work. I'm not protecting.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, we hear a noise, and it's like,
bro,
hey, last week was my get up and go check noise. It's your week, baby. Here you go.
No,
you got it.
No,
I pull up the sheet. Scream if there's a problem.
No, that's not gonna work. So
then you creep me down the stairs. I'm over there. Everything okay down there?
No, that's not gonna work. That's a negative for me. So no, you can't do 50 of that.
Okay.
We can 50 provide in terms of finances. I would prefer that your listening skills be above 50.
What? Give me a good number.
75. Range. You need to be able to listen well, and listening just for the sake of listening to offer support, not to problem solve. There's difference. Men always want to listen and then offer you a solution to your problems because they're problem solvers and they're trying to be helpful, which is great. We appreciate that. But there are times where it's just like, I'm venting. I don't have a solution yet. I'm not ready for a solution yet. I just need to like say what I'm feeling out loud.
I believe that it is not only times, it is all of the time, 90% of the time. So it's not like every once in a while I'm gonna come to you and I'm not gonna need you to go into problem solving mode. It's 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna come to you and I'm not looking for you to go into problem solving. I'm looking for you to listen and like validate my feelings and like be that support. So it's like, it doesn't seem like women are coming to men with their problems to be solved. It's just, I'm bringing problems to you just so you can listen to me vent mostly. And I don't think that's an expectation that a lot of men have.
Yeah, that's fair. And so that's why it says, if you got 75%, you're a winner chicken dinner. You elite. You're an elite man. Okay. Because the shut up, be quiet part is challenging for a lot of women. So if you meet a woman who has 75% on the be quiet scale.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yes, yeah. I would say that would probably that sounds impossible, like a unicorn.
They exist. Look at me. I'll be quiet. Don't act like that, Brandon, because you're on camera.
Yeah.
When you leave, I'll be talking again.
I'll be quiet when you be here, and when you leave, I'll be talking again. But
yeah, that would be the 4 for men. Protect, provide, fuck, and listen. Real good. Listen real good. So no, you can't be 50% across the board because some of those things I'm just not willing to do.
Here's the thing with the fucking part.
What?
It's not just fucking. It's like an experience. It has to be an experience. Like ain't no like, you ready, I'm ready, let's get right to it. It's a like, nah, I need you to like to rev the engine. I need you to warm up the car. Need to, hit the gas, pump the gas a couple times. Just get it primed and ready. I think you need that more than just because the fucking that's light work.
Okay, so maybe it's romance.
There we go.
Maybe it's like being romantic is that fourth category for men in order for them to be like stellar.
And then when men say fuck, we talking about that they're like, hey, you just need to kiss on my neck and I'm ready.
Yeah, you just need to be available. You need to be a willing vessel for my love.
It's like, what's good? It's like the thought of me coming through you is just got you split splash waterfalls. WAP it was a hit for a reason.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Anything else? Are we ready to move on?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right. So for our main topic today, we're going to talk about living together because if you don't know already, we live together.
Yeah, we live together.
It's been about 6 months. Yeah. We passed the 6-month mark.
Yeah, so we passed the 7th month mark.
No.
Because we started.
Oh, yeah. So we just passed the 7-month mark. And I want us to talk a little bit about the pros and cons of living together. We can start pros. Let's start with the good stuff.
All right. Pros. I'm just going to start practically. It's distribution of household duties and things of that nature.
I didn't think that's what you were going to say.
What you was going to say? Oh, come on now. I can't open it. I can't come out the gate with that one.
You look like that.
But I said practically. Yeah, but yeah, that's coming.
Okay.
And that was a double entendre. Don't even ask me how. So it's like there's a distribution of like like bills and things of that nature that can work as a benefit if that is part of the dynamic that y'all going with, because some people move in and it's like do paint, but this is a benefit of it, of saving money in that aspect potentially. What?
Are we speaking more in general, or are we talking specifically about our experience?
I was speaking more in general. Are we talking?
Okay, go ahead, general.
Okay. And that's assuming, well, it's only a savings if y'all both was paying rent separately. Y'all not going something that's like, it's a lot of moving parts in that part. Mm-hmm. But generally, it is potential savings in like rent and like bills and things of that nature, because y'all splitting that in however percentage y'all doing. What else is then there is the readily available access to your partner who you love when it comes to intimacy. Mm-hmm. See how I made that PG-13 ish. You get to see how they are in like another area of their life that you won't necessarily see until you move into with each other, because the type of access that you get when you live apart from each other is maybe you might get a day or a weekend where y'all spending the night at each other's house, but anybody can act for a day or a weekend. But when you living with each other, like you get to see what they smell, what they fart smell like.
Yes, you do get to see what their morning breath all the time,
what they look like when they first get up in the morning. But round the clock, you get to see their moods during all types of the month, the year, all times of the day and things of that nature. So yeah,
you get an all access backstage pass to this person's life.
I guess I could be a pro or a con, I guess, depending on who you with, but I'm choosing to say that this is a pro. It is a pro. I mean, it's a pro, because I feel like the sooner you find that out, the sooner you can make some decisions, because you're like, ooh, no, I didn't know you live like this.
I didn't know you wanted to live like this.
There we go.
Up?
Yeah.
I think another pro is the opportunity to like make decisions together, because you are living together. You get to make decisions about how you spend your time together, how much time you actually need apart versus how much time you want to spend together, and being a little bit more intentional about how you spend your time together, because this is the trap that I feel like people have fallen into when they move in together. It's like, well, we're always together. Like, we live together, so we don't need to do anything together. We don't need quality time together because we're always together. That's so you get to have the opportunity to be more intentional about how you spend your time together. As where when you are living together, usually everything is a date. You spend a lot of time together doing things outside of the house because that's one of the ways that it'll make it easier for you all to be able to see each other. But when you live together, you get to be a little bit more intentional and creative.
You have to be.
You have to.
It's not that you get to, it's you have to be.
Get to is just a positive reframe. I get to be thoughtful about how we can spend time together.
Yeah, that's true. But also, you have to.
Yeah, for the health of your relationship.
For the health of your relationship, because like now that you're spending all the time together, like you have to come up with more. So like the conversations that you were having at the end of the workday when you were living apart, like you generally it's easy for you to come up with something to talk about because you probably haven't seen that person all day. But then when you living together, you especially now these days when she and I both work from home, I see this girl every day. Like it's rarely an hour or two that goes by where I don't see or have some sort of interaction with her. And come to end of it,
that's crazy, babe. That's really crazy just to think about the fact that there's rarely an hour, and that's all the time.
Mm-hmm. And even in the time that we are not personally interacting, in the back of my mind, I know she's there. You know, I know that she's there, and it's like, and then sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like. What do I need to do? Do I need to be interacting with her more? So like personally, when I'm done with work and I'm writing up the end of my notes, and after that after I'm done with all those things, I might stay in my office and do some surfing on the internet or do some other thing that's going on. Maybe do a little light reading or something like that. And then at the back of my mind, I was like, damn, am I spending too much time here? Should I be back? Should I go back out and speak with Sandra? It's been an hour and a half since the last time. It's like, is she feeling some type of way about me? It feels like I am expected to make myself available with all of my time. Like if I'm not working, I need to make myself available to you. And that is something that personally I'm trying to work past, or trying to negotiate with myself. It's like, nah, we grown. Like it is okay to spend time apart or without feeling like the expectation I need to be entertaining you in some way.
Yeah, I agree. I don't feel that way, except for when I'm hungry. Then I'd be okay, Brent, hello, what are you doing in there? I'm hungry. Yeah. Any other time is fine. But if it's like, I thought we were going to have dinner at this time, I'm hungry and I don't want to eat without you, that's the only time that I'd be pressed. Yeah. Any other time, I don't really be pressed.
Yeah, so that being said, that happens every day. So you can imagine at the end of the day, after we all done and we all reconvene for dinner or what have you, like... What do you talk about? It's like, tell me about your day. Oh, I know I was there. I can't share too much with her because my work requires a lot of confidentiality, so I can't be talking about my clients and what I'll be talking about with them and stuff like that. So that cuts out a lot of the potential conversation that you can have with somebody, even though talking about work all the fucking time is not necessarily fun or anything like that. So it forces you to have to come up with other things to talk about and keep shit fresh. You know what I'm saying? Even though you've been having conversations back and forth kind of sort of throughout the whole day and you be saying, I'm like, I see you all day.
Yeah, that's very real, babe. I remember when I first started to feel like, what's going on? Why does it feel like stale at the end of the day? I hadn't conceptualized the fact that like we rarely go... Maybe at most, if you have back-to-back sessions, we probably go 2 hours without seeing each other. That's probably the most that we go without seeing each other on a consistent basis 7 days a week, all the time. That's crazy how much time we actually end up spending together or just in each other's presence, in each other's orbit. Being around each other. That's a lot of time together. Wow, we really love each other because we do not argue like cats and dogs, y'all. Like we really don't get on each other's nerves.
I'm like, this is smooth. This is Gucci. Remember how life used to be before being able to work from home was a real thing? When you had to go to work for at least 8 hours out the day. And then of course you got the time getting there and getting back. And then that doesn't count if you running the errands on the way back, going to the gym and stuff like that. You might not be home until about 8, 9, depending on what time you get off. By that time, every day it was something, you can talk to, you can have a conversation easily because I haven't seen you all day. Yeah. Every day. So it's like, oh, I'm so happy to see you. Like, oh, I'm tired of these folks in my ear, bro. Like, you are a breath of fresh air. And now, low key, you are my coworker.
I am your coworker. You're right. Damn, that's crazy. But also thinking about the amount of time that people used to spend apart before they had the opportunity to be able to work from home also means that there was more opportunity for separation or to feel disconnected, I guess, in some ways.
Had that long time, kind of.
Yeah. Like all that time that I'm very much used to spending all of my time with you too. I feel like I've become accustomed to it and it's not like unusual for me. But to transition back to that, like as I've been thinking about, maybe getting a role that's hybrid, I wonder what that's going to be like for me.
Well, it might introduce that like, it's been like the feeling that we may have after one of us goes away for like a week or something. You come back, it's like, damn, I've been thinking about you. I miss you. Oh my God, it just feels so good to see you and be, hug up on you again. You might get more of that on a more, at least a couple of times out the week. Mm-hmm. That wow factor, I guess. And some studies going to be done about that. About like the impact of, the working from home culture, especially when both people in a couple like work from home, and like how the impacts on like the intimacy, impacts on just like the togetherness and the things that you do when you're together now. Mm-hmm. How that's changed pre and post COVID. Well, it's still COVID now,
right?
Kind of. Yeah, so it will be interesting to see what it's going to look like for you when you get yourself a hybrid position or a position that requires you to travel X amount of times out the month or the year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But if you're traveling, depending on where you go, I'm already plotting on your travel. So
I thought this was supposed to be my alone time.
You can get some alone time when you're working.
No, that's not.
The hotel is just after you go to work. I'll be there waiting on you, welcome you home. Hello, babe.
No, mister.
Yeah. Oh, you going to Vegas? Okay, no worry. While you out working, I'll be in Vegas. I'll be, Oh, you was working. You was talking to them folk. Oh, dang! I just saw a show. Went to the buffet. I said, I won a couple $100.
Good. That's fine. You can win some money. Just don't spend none. Mm-hmm. Dang. Okay. Any cons or any more pros before we move on to the cons?
The other pro, the piggyback, I think you had said something about being able to make decisions together. Mm-hmm. It allows you to start building together, to start that process of merging your lives together and getting that process, kind of started and kind of seeing how it would look or how it would feel. Is it comfortable? You know what I'm saying? Like, or you able to work out any of the kinks during this stage. And I was just going to say, like, you get to, if y'all move into a new place together, y'all get to decorate, make those decisions like that. Y'all get to negotiate. Hey, I need the big screen TV. That's my non-negotiable. I know you don't fuck with TVs at all. I said, me coming from a home of a TV in every room, and I be having a TV in every room, and you not having a TV, I had to give you one. But moving in together, going from I don't really want a TV to I need to have a TV in every room. I was like, at the very least, I need to have a baller TV in the living room, big screen, and then we doing our negotiations and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. You and your plants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point, babe. There definitely is an opportunity to co-create a life together when you live together. You get to decide what the norms are in the household and like what the rules are and how things are, how responsibilities are distributed, but also how things look and like what type of vibe we want to create in here. All of that stuff is a collaboration, a collaborative effort. So that's cool. I do like that. That part has been fun. It's been good to figure it out and establish some new things that are traditions for us and that are like unique to the experience of living together. Like some things that I feel like we do here, I didn't do in my apartment, and I feel like you didn't do in your apartment. It only happened as a result of us of us being here together.
This is true.
Yeah. On to these cons. Big con.
All right. There ain't no cons. All right, y'all. That's the end of the episode. Well, we appreciate y'all tuning in.
No, you're lying.
Yeah,
there are some cons.
No, there's definitely some cons. With the pros that we outlined, those things can also be cons. So like while the pros for us was like the negotiation of like how we're going to make decisions and like how we're going to decorate the place like that. Like it can be some contention there. At this point, I'm still talking generally.
Yeah, having to make decisions with another person and consider another person is
take them into consideration.
Hard. It's just a challenge, especially if you don't have practice doing it anywhere else in your life. I was an only child for about 14 years in my life, so I really only had to think about myself for a good portion of the time. And even in thinking about my brothers, because they're so much younger than me, we didn't have to like it wasn't like you get a turn, I get a turn. I was playing with them and the things were theirs, like because they were kids. So like negotiating things like TV, right? Like since we only have one TV, negotiating who's gonna watch what, when, stuff like that. I never had to do that. Or like quiet time versus like I make noise like all the time. I be singing, I be playing music.
Yes, you do.
I make noise.
She be singing. She be breaking out. She's an earwig. You just be bursting out in songs. I was like, where the hell did this come from?
In my brain.
And then I found out. Then a few minutes later, I'm humming this shit too. I'm like, what? Why am I doing this? How did this happen? But luckily, I have one of the advantages that I have is the ability to tune shit the fuck out. While I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing as well. So she can go ahead and be singing and I could be reading it and I don't know nothing about nothing that's going on.
That's very true. That's a thing that I think that I originally was thoughtful about when we moved in together. I'm like, when I be by myself, when I was living by myself, I just make noise. I just be singing stuff. Sometimes I play the song, but sometimes I don't even play the song. Sometimes I just sing the lyrics that I know over and over again because I like that part.
And that's because you're an only child for most of your life. That's the behavior of an only child. Like something, I got to do this thing in order to entertain myself.
Yeah.
As someone who come up with siblings, or someone would have siblings, you know what I'm saying? You breaking down that shit. Hey, shut the fuck up. Oh, well, they can't say fuck because you're in my mouth. Hey, shut up. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna get some pushback. You know, so you gotta be quiet. Be quiet. You're making all this damn noise. So that was a benefit. But was that a con? I feel like it started as a con in general, but it was like for us, it works out. We was able to make it work. Now, that being said, for real con, I don't want to say a con, but a challenge is because we spend all of our time together, there's more shit that we can potentially clash on.
Yes.
There's more things that, the odds of me stepping on her feet, not literally, but like metaphorically with like, being inconsiderate of something increases. She may be annoyed over something and then I come in and don't help the situation unknowingly. So like having to moderate our own emotions separate to our interactions. So it's like I could be annoyed about something and then I might come out and then she's doing some shit that's exasperating that annoyance, but I can't take that out on her. You shouldn't. Because like that's separate from what's going on here. You know what I mean? So I can't use that like, damn, it's so I have to be like more zen. You as well. Try to be more zen.
Yeah. I mean, I try to be pretty zen, but I hear that, babe. It definitely is more fertile ground for, like you said, stepping on each other's toes. It could be a lot easier for me to do something in the morning that gets on your nerves and then you keep seeing me do it all day, or like you have to keep seeing me and it's still on your nerves, but we haven't had time for us to be able to discuss it. Like stuff could definitely fester over the course of a day and then you'd be like, listen, I need some time. Or
where you
like,
gonna go?
Go.
That's a con. That's a con. Like where you
That's true.
Where you gonna go when like you piss each other off? So when we was living off together and something good going on, like you're always going to go back home.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're living separately, home is separate. So you got that time to just be like, oh, okay, I'm in my own space. I can like get myself back together. I'm mad, but I can process, and then we can come back. We can get together again the next day or a couple of days or next time we see each other, and we can hash it out. Now we got to do all that shit here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, she pissed me the fuck off. I'm sleeping next to her tonight.
Yep. You are a big buddy. Yeah, and you can figure it out though. That's a pro. It's like you have the opportunity and the space to be able to figure things out maybe with a quicker turnaround than what you would have if you had other options. Mm-hmm. But I do think that I'm blessed. I am grateful that we are blessed enough to have separate spaces in here. Mm-hmm. Like we do have enough room that like if you wanted to go someplace and close the door, you could. If I wanted to go someplace and close the door, I could, for us to be able to get that separation and then come back together and like be able to talk it out. But honestly, we haven't had an experience like that. Wow, we don't really be in here fighting or arguing, huh?
We're blessed.
Brandon's gonna knock on wood. Yeah. We are. Yeah. As you said that, I was like, we haven't had one of those like big blowouts where it's like, you need to find someplace else to sleep tonight. You need to sleep on the couch
no one's been banished to the couch.
Nope. I mean, we're early in this thing, y'all. So again, knock on wood. Who knows what's going to happen? We got a long road ahead of us. Yes, it's still death over here.
Yes, we do. Yes, it is. So let's like, can we come up with some cons, general cons? Maybe not ours.
General cons. I don't know any. I mean, now you're tied to this person. It's not as easy to walk away. That can be a con.
That's true. Y'all tied by a goddamn lease.
Lease at least.
Y'all tied by a lease. And sidebar, if y'all moving in together into another apartment, both of y'all names need to be on that lease. Mm-hmm. No matter who's paying whatever percentage is, both of y'all names need to be on that lease. Now back to the regular schedule program. Yeah, y'all got you're tied to the lease. So if things, if y'all break up and go y'all separate ways, y'all got to figure out how y'all going to pay rent still, because you still be. The leasing office don't give a fuck about none of that.
No.
So you're gonna pay. Not their business. Yeah, you're gonna pay the early termination fee of the joint. Somebody finna move out and like take on like financial burden of the thing. I don't know. That's not our place. Y'all something y'all got to figure out. So I do think that sometimes that keeps people together. Yeah. So I feel like that's probably another reason why summertime a lot of people be single, because they wait till the summertime. Everybody's single in the summertime, because I feel like summertime is usually when those leases be coming up.
Babe, that is not connected.
It could be. It could be. It's like, hey, I'm waiting.
There's probably a small percentage of people for which that is true, but I don't think that in mass is true. Like,
no, I don't think it's.
I popped out for the summer because I was able to break that lease finally. Me and Tyrone are done.
We done. I had to stay locked in through the winter and the spring, because I had another 6 months on this lease, and I'm not going to come out of three racks or 3 months worth of rent to terminate this lease early. No.
Yeah, I had to stay. Yeah, that higher level of commitment and the shared financial responsibility can also be a con for some people. You learn who's a spender, who's a saver, and you might not be comfortable with the way the other person is spending their money. So that could definitely be a con. It's like, you complaining about money, or you ain't got money to pay half the rent, or you're not meeting your responsibility in XYZ way, but you got new Jordans. How? How?
Or the same thing you just said, but why you got a new purse? Why you got, you know what I'm saying? Why you got these new shoes?
My mama didn't bought it. That's not me. That's not us. It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It is not. Which are another thing I'm thankful for.
Me too.
Yeah. See what else? Any other cons? Oh, the con I think I mentioned before, just like, you get to see how the person lives for real. So like, it's possible that they don't live how you live. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, they let the dishes pile up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They let the ring, around in the toilet seat, stay there. You feel me? Like they messy and things of that nature. I don't know how you wouldn't have known that by the time y'all move in together, but like, it's possible that that is just how they live and not just like a weekend thing because you were there. And you realize, oh my God, she don't shower. Oh my gosh, he don't use soap.
Gross.
Like he showers, but he don't use soap.
He nasty. Disgust. Yeah,
it's possible.
You could figure that out. Hopefully, that's not the case.
Dookie streaks. Yeah, on both sides.
True. Yeah, if you start sharing responsibilities of laundry, and you're like, wow, I didn't know you smelled like that.
It's like, I'm washing Dookie with my clothes in there too. No, yeah, I know. That's how you get down.
Gross. All right, I'm gonna look on the internet just to make sure we didn't miss any, because I want us to hit them all. And
also, we encourage you, the listeners, to drop some comments, drop some pros, drop some cons, maybe from your experience, any experiences that you may have that or in the past or currently, that stand out in your mind. What are some of the pros that you identified that from living together with your partner, whomever that may have been or is? What are some of the cons that you have identified? Perhaps you've been able to work through them, or perhaps it's something that you've learned to mitigate, learn to disagree. It's like, it is what it is type situation.
I'm going to go back to the pros. One of the pros that they mentioned here is that living together before marriage can help reduce marriage stress. So when you get married, usually you have to prepare for a wedding, you move into a new house, and you have to change a lot of things about your life. If you've already been living together, that takes one of those big stressors out of the way, and you can focus on those other things.
Okay, that's a good one.
The cons of living together, it says that it gives an easy way out, which is interesting because I felt like it meant that you had a little bit more commitment. It would be a little bit more challenging to walk away, but it is an easier way out than a marriage, right? Yeah. So like if we live together for umpteenth years and we break up, there's not anything that you're really owed to me. And you can just kind of walk away.
That's true. It is less buy-in.
It is, yeah. It's like a lower stakes marriage, I guess. It also says that it could negatively affect your relationship, which I think is true. This is an opportunity to bring in the responsibility portion, like being considerate of each other, managing finances, managing household responsibilities. And before, shit was sweet. It was just dates.
It was just dates. Not 80% of the time, you just had to really think about yourself, and you only had to think about the other person when like y'all were together.
Exactly.
Now you got to think about it 100% of the time. Ain't no 50. You got to think about that shit 100% of the time. By the other partner, because your decisions literally directly affect the person that you're living with. So you may learn that your partner isn't as considerate as you thought they were, and not inconsiderate in ways that you find to be distasteful. So that is something that you gotta consider and find out. You gotta literally fuck around and find out about that.
You do. Another thing that it says that it can cause boredom living together. That I mean, much to what we said already, Brandon and I spend so much time together.
So you have to be intentional.
Yeah,
it's like as an adult, all relationships, like, they all have to be intentional. They're not as easy to maintain as it was when you was in high school, when you was in middle school. You know what I'm saying? With society, just force y'all to be y'all to be together most of the day, every day. Like now you gotta be intentional about doing shit with your partner, with your friends and things of that nature as an adult. And it's annoying in the sense of how much work that you gotta put into it. Like it's way like no one tells you this shit.
Yeah.
No one and then looking back on it, it makes sense. I remember my parents not having nobody. Like I was like, yo, why y'all never go out? Why y'all never like have no friends? It's just y'all two. And now I'm looking, I was like, yo, it's so easy to be that. It is so easy to you just blink and then it's just you and your partner and then y'all don't do shit. All the friends that y'all had, they're low key pen pals at this point.
Pen pals.
I mean, it's pen pals back then because they ain't had no.
Yeah, FaceTime.
Yeah, because it's like you gotta put in the work. You gotta pour in with intention with these people now.
Yeah, long distance friendships are real. So yeah, those are the things. The only other thing that they had as a point of consideration is that it helps prepare you for the next phase of your relationship as a pro. Like, because you have the honeymoon phase of living together before marriage, it makes it easier for you when you think about like having kids and doing stuff like that, because you had that time to be able to spend together and get to know each other and bond and all that good stuff. So
yeah, like I say, if the smell of her farts, you can take it. You pretty much know, okay, like I could do this. If this is the worst, yeah, I could do this. It ain't that bad.
It's always farts.
It is.
You have a final food for thought, fart man.
My final food for thought: enjoy your partner's farts.
Oh my goodness!
Learn to find pleasure, to enjoy, find humor, find joy in the small poops, in the large farts, in every poot in between. If you can't love them at their pootiest, do you really even love them?
Do you really even fuck with them like that?
For real? You feel me? Like, do you? You got to be comfortable enough to let that go around your partner, men and women. It is one of the ultimate people. You will fuck a person before you fart in front of him. Think about that.
It's ultimate intimacy.
An argument could be made. That being comfortable, getting to a point where you feel comfortable enough to just let that roll, let that go in front of them, is a higher level of intimacy than just busting it wide. Argue fight me
with your mother.
Tell me what you think about that. I don't know. It makes sense to me. Does it make sense to y'all? Am I tripping? Am I wilding? Or is there a little bit of, a little dash of truth in what I say, in the words I say? Truth with an F. That's my final food for thought.
Okay, my final food for thought is that living together can be a great opportunity to learn more about your partner and learn more about your relationship. So I think if you see it in that way, it makes it a little bit lower stakes. I think that you'll know when you're ready to move in with someone, and when you know that you're ready, see it in that way. Like, this is an opportunity for us to learn and grow and figure out how well we can do together.
In addition to that, don't feel, I guess, compelled to reach some arbitrary timeline when it comes to this moving in shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have this idea in your mind, it's like, hey, if you're not living together within the first year, over the first couple of years, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to move in with them within the first, because I've seen a lot of relationships where they move in so fucking quickly. They've been together for a couple of months, and then it's like, if we're been together by a couple of months and then someone's lease comes up, it's like, okay, it'd just be easier for us to go ahead and move in together. Okay. I've seen it.
That's true. I feel like when we were in a space where, was it my?
No, it was written. It was Ro was moving out.
Right, that's what it was. Yes, Brandon had a roommate. The roommate was moving out, and there was going to be an available bedroom in his apartment. And it was like, why don't you just move in here? And I was like, no.
I was thinking very, very practically. I was like, don't move in together for convenience.
Yes,
I should say.
And I very much was like, no, you're not having me move in just so you can split the rent with me. I want you to move in with me because you want to live with me, because you can't wait to be all up under me. And look at you now. All your time.
All of it. In a whole nother city.
And you love it.
I do.
Say it with some zest.
I do. Ooh.
Yeah. You know what it is?
Stupid. I'm not going to let you get the chance.
We sound battling out here.
We are.
But it's all good.
Oh, okay. I wanted to make sure you wasn't going to hit anything else and try to trump me.
Yeah. But yeah. Don't move in because it's convenient. It's probably not going to work out well for you.
Yeah,
it's possible that you'll be able to pull it out, but the numbers probably aren't in your favor.
And it's going to be, you have a harder time going through it.
Yeah, that's. I
was excited to move in together. I was looking forward to it. We had spent a year living separately, but like close together. And by the time that year was up, I was like, I want to be together in a place.
Yeah, I'm tired of you leaving.
Yeah.
I'm tired of you leaving at the end of the weekend. Every time she left.
Mm-hmm. And now,
she's
always
here.
Like 500 feet away at most.
Yeah, so sometimes be careful what you wish for.
Not true. Okay.
We good?
We good.
All right, y'all.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another episode of the Buffet Podcast, where we give you that endless food for thought. And we hope to see you again during the next episode. And live life. Be good.
I don't know what
Be happy. Find love.
Yeah.
Peace.